Good Sunday morning, friends, and welcome back. So we are now in the month of February, which is a month that is known for love. So we're going to do a couple poses over this next couple of weeks that's really focused and keeping you open to giving and receiving love. So we're going to start with bridge pose today, and this is a really good one for opening your chest, your heart center. Also a really good one for stretching and strengthening your spine, your back, your shoulders, and your hips. Going to help relieve any tension in your back and any headaches that you may be experiencing, and then really good for relieving symptoms of fatigue, anxiety, and insomnia. So go ahead and grab your mat and let's get started. So for this pose, you want to make yourself all the way down to your mat, and you want to keep your legs bent and bring your back to the floor, keeping your palms face down on the mat. And then from here, you want to start to engage your legs, lifting your hips towards the ceiling and rolling onto your shoulders here, clasping your hands underneath you and pushing your hips high to the ceiling and keeping your gaze straight towards the ceiling. And you hold here for a couple breaths. And then to come out of this pose, you want to roll from underneath your shoulders and release your hips back down to the floor, and then you can slowly start to make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And that is this week's Tranquil Time with Taylor. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. I will see you guys again next week for next week's pose. Good Sunday morning, friends, and welcome back. So balance is something that I think a lot of us struggle with. So today we're going to do a pose focusing on balance and stability. And we're going to do that with a pose called half moon pose. This is going to be a really good one, again, for improving that balance, that stability. Also a really good one for relieving pain in your hips and your back. And then really good for relieving stress and opening your chest and your shoulders. So go ahead and grab your mat and let's get started. So for this pose, if you do have a block, I would grab that and just sit it at the top of your mat. And then you want to come to standing. From here, with your right foot, take a step forward and then start to shift your weight into your right leg. From here, you want to start to lift your left foot off the ground, and you can use that block for stability. Once you've got a good foundation here, you want to make sure your foot is flexed behind you. You want to make sure your hips are nice and open here. And you can extend your left arm high and keeping your gaze at the top of your mat. And you just hold here for a couple breaths. If it feels good, if you want more of a challenge, you can remove that block and then just bring your hand to the ground as well. And after you feel like you've held this for a long enough time, you can just go ahead and bring your left foot back to meet your right and come back to standing. And thanks so much for joining me for this week's Tranquil Time with Taylor. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Good morning, friends, and welcome back. So I know a lot of you can probably agree with me when I say we are so hard on ourselves, and a lot of times we get so caught up thinking about the things that we don't have in life that we forget about all the good things that we do. So today I encourage you to maybe think about 3 things in your life that you're thankful for. And we're going to do humble warrior pose today, which is a pose that embodies gratefulness as well as confidence and self-empowerment. Also a great pose for opening those hips. It's really going to help strengthen both your upper and your lower body, and then improve flexibility, balance, as well as circulation, especially to your head. So grab your mat, let's get started. So for this pose, we're going to start in that warrior one pose we did a couple weeks ago. So take a big step forward with your right foot, keeping your toes pointed towards the wall in front of you, turning your left toes at about a 45-60 degree angle. And then start to bend into that right knee, making sure that knee doesn't go over that ankle again. And then from here, inhale your arms high to the ceiling. So this is warrior one. From here, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back, rolling your shoulders up and back away from your ears, and then start to bring your torso to your thigh and that right shoulder to the inside of your leg. And your gaze can be at the back wall or that back foot. And you just hold here for a couple of breaths. And to come out of this pose, all you're gonna do is bring your torso back to a straight back spine, unclasp your hands, and then just step forward to relax. And thank you guys so much for joining me for this week's Tranquil Time with Taylor. I will see you again next week. Good Sunday morning, friends, and welcome back. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. Yoga is all about connecting the body and the breath. So today we're going to do a breathing exercise called alternate nostril breathing, and we're going to move into what's called easy pose. So both of these breathing exercises and the pose are going to be really good for relieving anxiety and stress, also really good for decreasing blood pressure. It's going to help with any breathing ailments you might have, like asthma or bronchitis, and just really bringing your body to your breath and bringing you back to that present moment. So go ahead and grab your mat and let's get started. So we'll start with that breathing exercise. For this one, you want to come down to a comfortable seated position on your mat. You can place your left hand on your knee, put your right hand in front of you, and with your pinky and your ring finger, you want to put that on your left nostril, placing your index and your ring finger on your forehead, and then your thumb on your right nostril. So from here, we're going to press down on our left nostril. Inhale through your right nostril. You want to press down with your right thumb on your right nostril, and you're going to release your left nostril and exhale out through your left. And do the same thing. Inhale again through your left. Press down. Exhale through your right. And you just repeat that as many times as you'd like. And then after that, we're going to move into what's called our easy pose. For this one, you can go ahead and place your left hand on your right knee, and then bring your right hand face down behind you. And you just want to start to twist your torso towards the back wall, bringing your gaze to the back of you. And you just hold here for a couple breaths. And when you're ready, you're going to switch it out, bringing your right hand to your left knee and placing your left hand behind you and twisting to the wall behind you. And when you're ready to release that, you can just come back to center and sit here to rest. And thank you guys so much for joining me for today's Tranquil Time with Taylor. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Good Sunday morning, friends, and welcome back. So today we're talking tight hips, which is something that I think a lot of us can say we deal with. So this week and next week, we're going to do a couple poses that are really good for opening, for stretching your hips. Today's one is going to be called recline pigeon pose. And this is a really good one, like I said, for opening, stretching your hips, which is a place where we hold a lot of that negative pent-up energy. So really good for releasing that. Also really good for stretching your glutes and your hamstrings. This one is really good for promoting relaxation and blood flow, so circulation as well. All right, go ahead and grab your mat and let's get started. So for this pose, we're going to come down all the way to our mats, come to sitting, and we're going to roll down to our back here. Now from here, we're going to lift and bend our right foot, putting it on our left knee. And then from here, start to lift your left leg up and clasping your hands behind your left hamstring. Now you can stay here, or for a deeper stretch, you can start to pull your knee towards your face. And you just hold here for a couple breaths. And to come out of this pose, you can go ahead and release your hands, bringing your foot back down to the mat, dropping your right foot to meet your left, and then rolling back up to come to a seated position. And that is this week's Tranquil Time with Taylor. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. I will see you guys next week for next week's pose. Good Sunday morning, friends, and today we're going to do a pose that's going to be focused on twisting, which is always a really good detoxing pose. So today's pose is called Sage Twist Pose, and this one, again, really great for detoxing the body. Also really good for stretching your chest, your shoulders, as well as your back, and really good for relieving any low back tightness or pain. Go ahead and grab your mat and let's get started. So for this pose, we're gonna go ahead and start sitting with both legs extended in front of us. So you wanna bend your right knee, and then you can extend your right arm behind you, and inhaling your left arm high and bring it on the outside of your right knee. Or if you want a deeper twist, you can go ahead and start to wrap your arm around your right knee, and then with your left hand, wrap it around your back, reaching for your right and staying here. And then you just want to bring your torso towards your leg for a nice bend here. And you just hold here for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready to come out of the pose, just release your hands and you can come back to extending your legs long. And that is this week's Tranquil Time with Taylor. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. And at 6:53 on your Sunday morning, we're going to head back outside, giving you a beautiful view over the arch. The sun is out this morning, and another warm start to the morning. It's 71 degrees out there right now. We're going to take a short break, but first, here's today's Retire Now with Marvin Mitchell. Good Sunday morning, friends, and welcome back. So today we're going to do a little bit of a flow, focusing on our breath and the present moment, which can be something that's hard for a lot of us to do. A lot of times we're either focused on the future and what we have to do, or dwelling or ruminating on the past. Two things that take away from the moments that we have now that we're never going to get back. So today we're going to do a side plank variation. This one really good for opening both your side body and your chest, really good for digestion. And like I said, really good for connecting with your breath and the present moment. So go ahead and grab your mat and let's get started. So for this pose, we're going to start on our hands and knees, and then we're going to kickstand our right foot to the outside of the mat. We're going to extend our left leg and extend your left arm to the ceiling. From here, we're going to inhale. We're going to come up onto our knee to balance, pop onto the left ball of our foot, and we're going to bend into that knee. And we're going to exhale and extend everything back long to how we had it in the beginning. And inhale, come back up and pop onto the knee. And I just encourage you to do this a couple times, really working with your breath here. And when you've got a good amount, you feel you can come and return back to your hands and your knees, and come to your knees to rest. And thank you guys so much for joining me for this week's Tranquil Time with Taylor. As always, the light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in each and every one of you.
It's all right. I'll make sure we have ourselves